Yes, yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the United Front. My name is Zayn, joined by my good friend Cowley. Cowley, how you doing today, bro?
What's going on, people? How are we? How I'm doing all right, man. Just recovered quickly from a quick coughing fit. Literally thought I was just about to die, but or thought I was about to start again, But yeah, man, I'm good. How are you, bro? How are you?
Yeah, yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. It's the Monday today, early start to the week and all that. But getting on okay, man. Get on okay. By the way, guys, let's get into today. Not too much really, but we've got some things. We got the UAE takeover, Sesko Criticism that came out earlier today in the Athletic, and then you also got the next three games. So we'll get into all that good stuff now. Before we get into everything, though, guys, please make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We've got a good show hopefully coming out tomorrow. We agreed, right?
I think we agreed tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesday. Tuesday night
Tomorrow,
was going to be the
tomorrow,
one. A little bit of an international break, ad hoc, special show. One for the neutrals, I'd say as well. But yeah,
100%.
a little bit of a ranking, little game draft type thing of our top 10 Premier League strikers, not just United strikers, by the way. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It's going to be an interesting one. We're going to have
Yeah.
Ernst lead the way there, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but yeah, definitely keep locked on that. I've also got a couple things I'm excited to talk about as well. Got gonna have a Liverpool fan, maybe even a couple of them. Not sure about exactly the amount of number yet, but obviously you guys will see it come up soon. It's a very special edition of the Enemy Front this week, going into that massive game at Anfield on
Huge,
Sunday.
man. Huge, huge. Speaking of Sunday, though, on Thursday as well, we should be coming back as well. For the It'll be either Thursday or Friday. We'll be getting into all the stuff, match preview, getting ready for the game. Looking forward for the probably one of the hardest games of the season, man. You know what I mean? Anfield, it's a tough place to go for Manchester United. So it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. But before we get into all the next games, let's get cracking, man. Let's get cracking. So UAE takeover. What are your thoughts, man? How you feeling?
I mean, a bit of an interesting one. Like, you don't really there was a few stories, but I don't feel like there was actually that much information out there. I mean, if you guys obviously if you haven't heard, we'll see United sound like they're up for sale again in the next, I don't know, 2 years. That's something that does look, like it might actually happen. The Glazers apparently looking like they want to cash in to maximize profits. Apparently selling before 2027 maximizes profits. Something to do with some clause with Jim Ratcliffe or whatever they've got going on. But again, I'm not a business financial expert, so I'm not gonna pretend like I know more than I actually do. But like, definitely could see that happening. But I guess everything's for sale, especially us. So I don't know how much I learned from that, because at the same time, like, the Glazers, like, I've always known that the Glazers would sell for a good price at any given time. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think this next 2 years thing is something that important, but definitely could see something happening there. But yeah, like, what do you think? Obviously, Glazers out is something with all United fans, I think that's probably the one thing I can say United fans actually have agreed on consistently since probably about 2005 is Glazers
Heard
out.
that.
So yeah, I mean, we are where we are now, and I think any way, shape, or form they do get out, it's celebration time. But yeah, I mean, I'm not, booking any venues for the party yet, because I don't know really if there's much to believe. But yeah, what do you think?
No, man, it's a tough one, man. I've been seeing quite a lot of different people talking about this. You know what I mean? Obviously, from the initial report, it was a little bit quiet. I was kind of waiting for like some of the tier ones to come out and start confirming up the story. But I'm hearing a lot of different things. People on the Athletic, different, loads of different conflicting opinions, and that's what it seems to be at the moment. It just seems to be like there's just a lot of different opinions going on, and nobody really knows for certain what's going on. I saw a report, I think, earlier this morning from that indicator. I know they broke that Believer news, but that's pretty much all they've done.
Yeah,
But
that boy.
weirdly, you just feel like you have to say what they said, because there's just that tiny chance that there could be something in it. But I'm reading stuff. I think it was earlier this morning. They were talking. The UAE consortium or whatever met up in London for a meeting and this and this and that. And you know what? The thing is, it is believable. Not necessarily that report, but that this stuff could be taking place. End of the day, I don't think the Glazers really shied away from saying that they have a price. And I think it's something along the lines of I heard this earlier in the video about 33 point something dollars a share or something like that would be the value probably taken into somewhere between 5.5, 6 billion, something like that. But I don't know, man. Like you said, obviously it's a very, very tough one. You never know with these Glazers, man. But I don't know. I don't feel like Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be too keen on that either. So it'll be a very interesting situation, I think.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one to watch. You are obviously with the initial reports that United are going to be sold again. You were hearing the same kind of parties that you were hearing about last time. Obviously, Sheikh Jassim. You heard obviously this UAE consortium now as well. Who saw that? I don't know if you saw that, like Finnish crazy dude, that Thomas Zilikas or whatever, who just chats loads of shit. To be honest, he was around last time. When he was saying, he's talking a lot. He was talking that fan owned bullshit. That if we, I could get the fans to put some money together and we could do it. He honestly just chats nonsense. But yeah, it's one of them ones where, like, hopefully whatever happens, if it does happen, it doesn't take as long as it took last time. Well, we were being taken over for like a year last time, I think, and that took ages. So hopefully whatever happens, whether it's the Qataris, this UAE consortium, whoever it is, they're gonna have money. To be honest, we don't really need that much money. Like, Man United already generates so much money. We just need it to be funneled correctly. And obviously the debt has always weighed us down. So getting rid of the Glazers does that too. So that would be the biggest thing. Then I guess after that, it's just not being an idiot and just not making stupid decisions. But I don't know. So far, it's literally this. So much needs to happen before a takeover actually happens, and you start thinking about who's making decisions. That, like, it's probably not even worth thinking about right now. But yeah, like, no, I'm honestly trying not to even think about it too much or entertain it too much in my mind, because I don't want to get myself excited for something that seems so far away at the moment. Like, it still seems at the very, very early stages. Like, this might not take off at all. Do you know what I mean? So it could just be some international break bogus because people are bored and this type of stuff comes out in international break all the time. So maybe it's just one of them as well.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't know why, man. I just feel like from what I've read so far, I feel like the story has some merit. I don't think like this just comes completely out the blue. And I'm not gonna lie, man. As much as obviously glazes out, we're chanting that all the time. But at the same time, man, the only thing is the timing of this is so like frustrating. Like I feel like the club's only just settled after the last takeover. They've had like a year. They got they made a couple mistakes, got some people in, got some people out. Changed the manager. They backed him now. It kind of seems like it's about that time where things are going to start taking off a little bit. You know what I mean? Not to say in terms of results, but just slowly. You know what I mean? The club seems like it's formed
Things are
where it
settling
needs
for
to
once.
be.
Like,
Yeah.
I think at the start of this season, we had, since Ineos have come in, we had like sacked every single person in the Man United like hierarchy and replaced them. And by the start of this season, we had basically, for the first time since Ineos have come in, a complete staff of people, whether it be in the boardroom or below. And you're right, the timing of this seems obviously just a bit weird, but it's one of them ones where it's like, is it even like obviously, I'm not gonna lie, for me, it doesn't matter when the timing is. If the Glazers are gonna get out, I'm happy for it to happen at any time. But you're right, if it was gonna happen, like, bro, we were literally up for sale for a whole year about 18 months ago. Where the hell were this UAE consortium then? Do you know what I mean? Like, why now? It just, I don't know. It seems a bit weird, bro. Like, that's why I think maybe is it just international break nonsense, because, like, like I said, we were literally for sale for over a year, and Jim Ratcliffe in the end, was the only one that ended up coming about to get 27% or whatever he got. I don't really understand. Like, these billionaires wouldn't have just become billionaires now. They would have been, do you know what I mean? They would have had billions from a while
No,
back
I hear that. I hear
when that
that.
was happening too. So I don't really understand what the sudden, like, rush for it to happen now is. But hey, again, I'm not a billionaire, so I wouldn't understand. But do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man,
Yeah, I hear it,
let's
man.
let's move it on. Let's
Before
talk
we
about
move
the
on,
Sesko
let's get
stuff.
into the comments. Let's get into
Yeah,
the
go on,
comments. We had a
go on,
couple
go on.
comments there. So we got shout out to Ernst, gonna be on the show today, but it says Glazes out. UAE would make us a powerhouse. Not gonna lie, I fully hear it. Nah, I fully hear it. Not gonna lie, slightly. I wish, I do wish we get these men because these lot start pumping in money into the club like that, man. Like, bro, we could
Thing
be a
is,
complete.
which UAE man would it be? Because the Abu Dhabi man, who are actually pretty much I think they're the most breaded up emirate out of all of them, the people in Abu Dhabi. And that
Yeah,
royal family, obviously, they own City. So I actually don't know who it's going to be.
yeah.
Obviously, is it a group of billionaires from all over the place that are from maybe live in the UAE? Is it PUAE nationals, some Arab royal family that is in the UAE that has enough? But do you know what I mean? Because
I hear it.
again, it's one of them ones. Like, the ruling family in the UAE, they own City. So
Yeah.
where are we going here? Innit? Do you know what I mean? Is it just another part of their family? Is it like Sheikh Jassim? All these questions about whether he was AI and that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I hear that. I hear it.
it's one of them ones where I don't know, man. Are we linked to the state? Personally, me, if we are linked to any sort of state, I don't want it. I don't want the Qatar to take over either, because it's too linked to a government.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think if it's linked to a government, obviously the reason I don't want it is because if for whatever the reason that government has to, I don't know, go to war or has, a natural disaster, catastrophe or whatever, and suddenly they can't now afford to, fund Man United, and they've got to go deal with matters in their own country, which are understandably more important, then bro, we're kind of cooked, man. And that's
Yeah, but it's not like we're getting any funding right now from our current owners, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like
to be fair to Jim Ratcliffe, since he's come in, he's put in £300 million of
Jim
his
Ratcliffe,
own money.
yeah, okay, cool. But bro, that's like look where we're at, man. Man said Jim Ratcliffe's putting 300 mil. Okay, fair play, he's only been here a little while. But he's not our owner. We're talking Glazers here, man. We're in debt. We can't be forgetting the debt that we're in. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that straightforward, man. It's not like we're getting any investment with what we got at the minute. So I'll take my chances. You know what I'm saying? Give me at least a good few couple transfer windows. Go get me a little Mbappe or something. You know what I'm saying? Give me a little something. Let me get excited, bro, for a change, and then we'll go from there. So
First,
I,
first.
I don't know, man. But here we go. We've got Shaq saying, "Is Ratcliffe selling all Glazers?" So I think the clause is that he'll have to sell if the Glazers decide that they want to sell.
Yeah.
So yeah, he won't really have
Unless
to say in
unless
it.
Ratcliffe is able to maybe negotiate something with the new person, and maybe he takes time, but I don't know. Depending on who the people are, they probably just want a clean slate. They'll give him his P's and tell him to cut.
Yeah, nah, I hear that. I hear that. We got another comment here from Igo. Where do you think we're coming this season? So I remember before the season, I was comfortably saying top six. Now what? We're 7 games in. Um, I'll be honest, I'm not as confident as I once was. Not to say it's impossible, but yeah, definitely not as confident. I don't know, man. I'll probably, you know what? I think we'll get seventh, man. Screw it. I'll go for seventh. What do you reckon, Cowley?
I think we can get top six. Honestly, if anything, I think the start of the season.
Not what can we do. Where do you think we're
I
gonna get?
think I said that we'll finish. Obviously, at the start of the season, my hopes were high. Obviously, I was optimistic, and I think I
Yeah,
said fifth. I think I said fifth.
but at one point after, wasn't it? Remember when you started singing out top four and that?
Top four.
It's
That's what I'm saying. You know what? I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna back down yet. I'm gonna say fifth. Well, yeah.
ambitious, man. Ambitious. I hope you're right, bro. Honestly, I hope you're right, because that would
I
mean
just,
that we,
you know, what it is. I haven't got that much evidence yet to say what I'm saying, but I think quite a lot of people were pretty sure that Chelsea were nailed on like fourth, and obviously they're 1 point ahead of us, and we beat them as well, and they've had a much easier run than us, and now I think they're going to play some hard games. I think we've started the season looking better than Chelsea, all things considered. So, I think Tottenham have looked probably the best out of the teams that aren't, City, Liverpool, Arsenal. So I don't know. To be honest, it's too early to actually tell. But right now, it's all
far too
about
early.
it's only 7 games in. Cool. I think it's too early.
Yeah, it's far too early, man. It's far too early. But if you're a gambling man and you have to, what I mean, put your money down now, it's probably more the question.
I guess I'll just say I'd say sixth, if I had to pick one position, I'd say we finish sixth.
We take it, man. We take it. And we got another comment from Shaq. I said Mbappe playing with the Shate. Listen, Mbappe playing with Kobe Manu, man. The truth. That's the real plan, man. That's the real plan. But let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. Where do you want to go to next? Sesko?
So yeah, we want to talk about Sesko. So it was the Athletic, they asked agents to rate.
They asked 20 agents to rate the signings, and so they do I think top the best signings, the worst signings, and a few different other things. And let me just remind myself, but out of the 20, Sesko got the highest votes for the worst signing. So he's ranked number 1 as the worst signing from this article with 6 votes. And second to him is Trafford with 2 votes.
And Sesko got 6.
6.
Interesting.
Now, yeah, it's so for me, I think so. This has all come up now. I'm not entirely sure when they were asked these questions. Were they asked these questions just as the transfer window closed? Were they asked these questions recently? That's more what I'm not really too sure. Because if it was recent, then I just think that's just a typical agenda against Manchester United, trying to shit on our signing when the likes of Florian Wirtz, who only got 1 vote. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? But he ain't done nothing. At least, Sesko's actually scored some goals, looking decent, building up a little bit of form. Do you know what I mean? So,
just taking it at face value, you got 20 agents that since 6 of them said Sesko will be a worst signing. Just straight away, it's first of all, who the fuck is an agent to tell me what to think of any signing? What? You're not a manager, you're not a coach, you're not a scout. Why do I care about you, bro? To be honest, your agent could just be a player's brother, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's anything. That's nothing for me worth taking any note of. Why should I care what some random paid, you know what I mean, agent? Obviously, I'm happy for them and they're probably making peas and that, but bro, why should their football insight matter at all to what anybody should think? Not just me, but any of the football public. I hear it when managers come out, when coaches say stuff, when pundits, ex-players, people who are actually people who sit there and watch the games 24/7. How do we know these agents even watch football? Anybody
I completely agree with you, man. I hear that. Do you know what I don't like? If you actually see the article, it's got agents believe Sesko move to Manchester United was the worst deal of the window. That's that part there. And then it goes, obviously you see Benjamin Sesko top of the list was 6. Sorry, James Trafford, it wasn't 2, it was actually 3. And then after that, everybody else is 1. And then again, even the presentation, they've got Sesko. So they've got the list halfway down, and they've got just a fat picture of Sesko right next to it. And then at the bottom, the two names on the bottom of the list are Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak. Even though all the other signings in between all have the same number of votes, but they're tucked in right at the end. Do you get what I mean? Tucked in right at the end. You got Wirtz and Isak, who were the two most expensive Premier League signings ever.
It's what, 130 million pounds and 115 million pounds.
I'm not gonna lie, neither of them have done fuck all, bro, since since the start of the season. So,
well, Sesko's scored more than both of them combined so far. So,
yeah.
and you
I
know,
don't know, it really triggered me though, man.
Personally, I saw like a couple of other, United pages and channels and stuff talk about it, but I was kind of thinking like I don't really see that. You know what? I like that Athletic. I like their journalism generally. I do think they're the best in the game, like generally. So I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, like I'm just gonna let this one kind of slide. You know what I mean? I haven't even properly read the article because I was like, why do I care about what these men think? Like, there's already too much stupid football discourse, you know what I mean, in the game. So, yeah. Anyway, like agents thinking one thing or another doesn't really swing my boat either way. So, I would just say, bruv, literally shout them out, innit? Like, I don't really know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think some play.
I said,
Do you know what I
shout them
mean?
out now. Screw them, man.
I
I
feel
ain't
like there's
shouting
just
them
some
out.
random. I feel
Or
like you can
haters, man.
literally, like, also they probably said this at the end of the transfer window. Like since then, Sesko I think's looked good. He started the season well. He's obviously scored in 2 back-to-back games now. He's every game I think he's played for us. He's looked more and more lively and more sharp. You know, connecting with his teammates a bit more, getting used to the Premier League a bit more. I see him winning a lot of headers, winning a lot of duels. Getting into the physicality of it. He doesn't look like he's soft or like he's shy. So yeah, man, I think so far so good. I think from Sesko, he scored the same amount of non-penalty goals as Gyökeres. Obviously Arsenal are top,
And a lot less minutes as well.
and I've been watching obviously a lot of both of them actually, and I think I'm looking at both of them thinking, boy, I feel like we dodged a bullet if we were going to for Gyökeres, and I'm so happy we got it, Sesko instead, because like looking at the two of them now, but playing the same league, I'm thinking, Gyökeres probably. I feel like he's only getting away with it because he's playing for a very good Arsenal team right now. But yeah, I don't think he's a very good player at all. And a lot of United fans obviously didn't want to sign him as well for that reason. So yeah, Sesko, like I said, I'm happy with him. I'm excited to watch him play, and I hope he does bits this season and proves all this nonsense, right and wrong.
Nah, I hear it, man. I hear it. I hope he does business in the next game, man. I think that for me is I think it's a perfect time. Perfect time for Manchester United now to like push forward. But speaking of the next game, let's move on anyway from Sesko. We love Sesko, man. You know what I mean? Forget the media, man. We got your back, bro. It's all good. Now we move on. What, next 3 games? So what, we got Anfield. Obviously, I don't need to stress to you how tough that game is. We we already know what that is. Before we get into the other two, how are you actually feeling about Anfield right now?
You know what? I said this a couple of weeks back, but now the week is upon us. I'm shook. I can't lie.
That's what I mean.
I'm shook, bro. I can't lie. I'm panicking. Bro, it's Anfield, isn't it? Every year you have these are the type of games that you love football for, innit? You know what I mean? Like you're shook, you're nervous, like you go into the game again, bro. We're going into a game at the Premier League champions, unfortunately. Makes me sick to even say that. Going to the fucking champions at Anfield, which is a tough place to play, just for any team at any time. So we're gonna go there, and yeah, man, like we haven't won there since Juanfield. 2016, I think it was, with
Mm.
Louis van Gaal. And that was, do you know what I mean? What, almost 10 years ago now, bro. Like, we haven't beaten them so at Anfield. And in the past couple of seasons, it hasn't been great. I know we had that win in the FA Cup. We drew against them in the league that season as well. But yes, last season they smoked us. One of the early games of the season, I think it was at home. They smoked us at Old Trafford 3-0, I think. And then away, we should have beaten them. Under Amorim, last season, actually, at Anfield, we genuinely should have beaten them. I still think that was probably one of Amorim's best performances since he's been at United. And we didn't, obviously, win. So honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm more confident than I have been in a while going to Anfield. I think this might be the year that we do it. I actually think this might be. Liverpool also haven't. I've watched every single Liverpool game this season on a hate watch thing, and they actually haven't looked very good this season. And I think we can do it. Whether we will do it, obviously, we'll see. How are you feeling about the game?
Bro, I'm in two minds, man. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie, for the past a couple of weeks now, I've been chatting. I've been chatting the most. I'm like, you know what? Nah, Liverpool look kind of meaty this year. They haven't looked the best. They're scoring last minute. They're recently, they're getting found out. You know what I'm saying? Palace beat them, this person beat them, this team's beating them. Nah, trust me. I'm like, bro, we're playing at the perfect time. Nah. Or they're just talking the most. Now, like you said, it's the week of. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm like scared to talk right now because I'm shook, bro. I'm shook because the thing is, this game I think is huge for both teams. If we go to Anfield and win, like you said, it's been almost 10 years. We haven't won there. Second of all, we've never won back-to-back games on the Amber. We can end that right now. We can beat
Haven't
them
won an away
with a
game since like March or
huge,
something.
bro, huge win against, like you said, the champions of last year in their backyard. Do you know what I mean? There's so much at stake. This
And
could
a
do wonders for our
bitter,
season.
bitter rivalry, just as a little bed for all of that to sit on, is nice, bro. They've also, they've lost. I think they've lost the last two Premier League games in a row. I think,
And they lost in the cup.
and they lost in the cup. Honestly, I've been watching Liverpool this season. They haven't looked very good. They've had not that they've looked awful. They still look like a top team, and they've been able to get the results. You know what I mean, by grinding it out and doing all right. But I was speaking to one of the Liverpool fans that will appear on the United front earlier, actually on the phone when I was setting up for the enemy front, and they were telling me themselves. I won't give away too much, but they were telling me themselves that they haven't really had many good games this season in terms of performance. But saying that, they still managed to go to Newcastle, get a result. They played Arsenal, they've got a result. They've played Chelsea. Obviously, they lost against Chelsea, but they beat Bournemouth. They played some good teams in that run, and they've still managed to get results against these very good teams whilst not playing very well. And that's still a very impressive, achievement. And especially with United, I think it's one of those games that, honestly, with us going into the game, it's one of them games I think the players genuinely will feel like the pressure's off. Like, it's a win-win, right? We don't have many of these win-win games where, like, you go into the game as if you lose, everyone would expect it. As long as you give a good fight, no one's going to say anything too crazy. If we go to Anfield and lose 2-1, 3-1, no one will really care, right? It will be like, fair enough. But if you win,
We're gonna get slapped 5-0.
obviously, that's a no-no.
That
You
would
can't do
break
that.
my heart, bro.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
because then,
feeling right now.
listen, Amarim is one big slapping away from losing his job, bro. You're not. He's like, you can't have he's at a stage right now in his Man United tenure that if he has one bad loss, it's gonna, it's gonna send shockwaves around the fan base. People are gonna be upset. I don't think he's obviously gonna lose his job like that. And obviously Amarim's comments recently where, come out, saying he'll have a few years or whatever. He might not lose his job obviously after that, but still, you can't be going to Anfield and losing 2-3. No, I don't think Amram will. I don't. I think we've always looked good against big teams. Even if we don't win, we still look decent. We put up a good fight. Other than that last City game we played, I don't know what that was about, but yeah, I think I think we'll go to Anfield and I think we'll set up, we'll make it hard for them. And I think we can do it, man. I really think we can.
Right. You know what, man? I feel like I'm getting too much anxiety even thinking about this game for now, man. I need a few more days to, you know what I mean, to think about this more before I can give my verdict on that game. But let's move on anyway. Anfield is the main one. Then we got Brighton. Is it Brighton? Brighton at home?
Brighton at home, yeah.
Bogey team is all, man. Brighton are just jarring to play against, man.
I think we haven't beaten Brighton in like 2 years. When was the last time we beat Brighton? It was ages ago, I swear.
Hell if I know, man. It's been time, bro.
I feel like, yeah, I think we haven't beaten them in like 4 or 5 games.
It's been a minute, man.
Like, we don't often beat Brighton, man. They're one of them teams that I actually hate playing Brighton, you know that? Like, especially when we played them under like Ten Hag or whatever. But because I feel like every game we played them, they absolutely played like Barcelona 2012-13, bro. They were just passing off.
Yeah.
But they look like we can't get near them. It's, under the Zerbi especially, it looked so cold. Like when they played against us specifically, it looked like that was how the Zerbi showed like the board. This is how I'm a good manager. Like I'm gonna show you. Like this is my style of play, and for some reason it will work perfectly against Man United, but against other teams it's gonna take time. Do you know what I mean, bro? Like honestly, Brighton are they're a tough team under Hertzler. They look good. They've actually looked decent this season as well. They kind of carried on where they left off. So yeah, man, that's a tough game.
It'll be a tough one.
And Forest as well. And then we got Forest. Obviously, they've got Ange. He might not even have a job by the time we play them. But knowing us, we'll probably go into that game and it'll be a Forest new manager bounce, and God knows what to expect from that. So yeah, man, it's another 3 tough games, and we've already had a really tough start to the season. It does start to calm down just after, or I think just after the November international break. Around that time, it starts to calm down because we get like that run into Christmas into January. It's actually quite a decent little run for us. But I feel like we've had the hardest, like, you know, 8, 9 games that you could probably ask for, man. We played obviously Burnley and Sunderland in there. But other than that, it's been Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool.
Fulham away, even.
Fulham away,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
It's been some
Just
tough
those
ones.
kind of games that are just a bit tough, innit? Yeah, that's the thing, man. And then so I don't know, man. I don't know. I fancy this against Forest. I reckon we'll beat Forest. I can't lie.
What would you take out of those 3 games? Do you think how many points do you think is like, yeah, no, like a success? Like what would you say is a success?
Well, out of the next 3 games.
Yeah.
Ideally, at least 6.
Yeah,
but
I think
if it's not going to be 6, even 4 wouldn't be the worst. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be like, it would hurt, but it wouldn't be the worst in it.
You know what? That wouldn't hurt. I think 4 should be the minimum. I think we should aim for 6. And then obviously if we get 9 or 7, then anything 6 and above is fantastic. 6 is decent, very decent. And plus 6 plus is amazing, I think. If he can get 7 points out of the next 3 games, he's done a fantastic job. If he can get 9, obviously there's a 10 out of 10 job there. But I guess we'll see. You know, time will tell. Obviously the international break finally is coming to an end tomorrow. Last little bit of international football, I think, being played. England are playing tomorrow or whatever. Bruv, put me out of my misery. I hate it, man. They really need to stop doing it, bro. But you know what is what it is. Yeah, I think what the one thing I wanted to also kind of just quickly touch on before we end it is what did you think of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's comments about Amrim and how, you know, needs a manager like him needs 3 years to prove himself and stuff like that. What do you think about that? Did you like that? Did you hate it? What do you think he was bluffing? What do you think?
All right, on the bluffing side of things, I'm not really too sure where he lies on that because I know I feel like he can be a little bit trigger happy, you know what I mean? So I'm not too. I don't think that necessarily means Amram gets, his 3 years regardless. However, I do believe that they picked Amram for a reason. I think they would have definitely done the research and looked into what he did at Sporting, the way they cleared out the club, the way he this, the way he this, the way he that, and he needed time to implement the system properly, like not even just the system on the pitch, but just like as a whole, the football club. So me, you know where I stand with Amram. You know my thoughts. I want Amram to have the time. I want him to have the season, see how he gets on. I don't think there's anything we can really do during the season that's going to make that much of an impact by now. I think we're doing okay. I don't even think we're doing bad. People are talking about United this, United down the bro. We're 1 point behind Chelsea, but they're actually we're doing relatively well for now,
If we beat Liverpool,
considering the games we've had.
we're 2 points behind them.
So this is what I mean. So I don't see any need for it. I feel like there's just so much heat around Manchester United that any slight result, everybody's on our case. United's the system, the manager, the this, and that. So back to the question itself. I'm not gonna lie, I like the fact that there's been all these whispers and CJ Michael basically just came out and said, shut up. He's getting the years, he's getting the time, everybody be quiet. Whether that is the truth or not is a separate topic for me. But the fact that he just came in and just kind of just shut it all down. Nobody's really, I don't know, but you haven't been seeing everybody yapping away about when's Amram getting sacked and this and that since those comments. Since those comments came out, people just kind of slightly just shut up a little bit. And I'm not like that's what I wanted as a fan. That's what I wanted to see. Back your manager if you're gonna back him, or just sack him. Simple as like.
I mean, they will start back again as the second he loses a game. If he loses to Liverpool again, you'll hear he's got 30 points in 35 games or whatever. You're gonna start hearing all that tally come back out or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like the vultures are always going to be out for you, especially if you're Man United manager. Even if you're doing well, the vultures were even out for whoever it was. If you're doing well at United, people are going to be watching you and people are going to be waiting to criticize you, unless probably even if you're winning games all the time, but especially when you're losing. And that's obviously Amram needs to cut that out. So, and he won't, obviously, like whoever's read those comments, if you think that he's just going to stay forever because Jim Ratcliffe's, giving him the time, if we're not going to finish 10th this season, he's going to have a job next season. Believe you me. So he's got to do enough to keep his job, as well as Amram, as Jim Ratcliffe saying that Amram's got to show him, that there's a reason for him to continue going on, and that feeling could change. He could feel that today, but come the end of the season, new information might come to Ratcliffe, and he might feel like, you know what, I'm going to cut my ties with this guy. But hey ho, like you said, the main thing is I'm very happy to hear it. You know me, I'm probably the most staunch Amram in person. Sorry,
out, careful there,
I'm
bro.
probably the most staunch Amram in the whole fan base, bro. Not even on like because of Amram specifically. I've obviously explained it a million times before. You can't move forward as a club if you just sack managers sack 2 managers in the 11 months or 10 months or whatever. So no, I wouldn't sack Amram now, especially, but I'd definitely give him, if it was up to me, at least till the end of the season and see what happens there. And I'm like I said, I'm happy that he's come out and said that, because like you said, it has quelled the rumors a little bit and given us a little bit of time. Before we wrap up, let's go through some of the comments. It's just really from Ernest, really, just yapping away, mate. You could have, hopefully you'll see him on the channel soon this week, saying fighting and competing FC. Vultures, that's relegation. It's the truth. Vultures, that's relegation form. Rightfully critical of that manager. We know what Ernest feels like about Ruben Amorim, innit?
He's like, I'm a route blood. That's what he's always said.
United now, 2 years for everyone. Yeah, listen, I've had this conversation with Ernest a million times, but you know, I'll drop it again as soon as he...
bro.
Listen, everyone knows how I feel.
Man. This is
Everyone knows how.
This is what I'm saying, man. I hear it, man. I hear it.
Like, he's, at the end of the day, I don't think we should be the same as every other club, mate. We're Man United, bro. Like, I wouldn't say we'd just be the same as every other club and do it. I want us to be different. Like, I want it to work with Amorim, and I think if it does work with him, I think his ceiling is very high. And you know, let's see what happens. If it doesn't work with him, well, he's gonna move on. It's just a matter of time. Whether I want to keep him in or whatever, it don't matter. The fans seem to think as well, by the way. Can I just make this point quickly before we cut? The fans seem to think more and more in today's day and age that people like Jim Ratcliffe give a shit about whether Mazin is Amorim out or Ernest is Amorim in or out or whoever. Bro, no one cares, bro. Whether I'm Amorim in or out, it does not matter. Whether you're Amorim in or out, it does not matter. So I feel like people feel like they have to make a judgment and sit in a camp and then stick to it and say, nah, yeah, I'm him out. No, I'm not. Bro, opinions are made to change, and life is there so that we can, you know what I mean, try things and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, for me, like, don't feel like you have to be, you know, you have to be on the same side as this guy or that guy or whatever. Just back the manager. You don't lose anything by backing him and saying, I want this guy to succeed. And if you get sacked, whatever, cool, move on. You want the next guy to succeed and back the next guy. Like, you're not losing anything from it. You know what I mean? You don't lose any ratings from someone because you backed one guy and then he's not there anymore. I ain't gonna go start an Amorim fan club if he gets sacked or whatever. I'm just trying to back the manager in it. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, that's my
Cowley Heinous with one of his Amorim speeches and a way to move forward. But listen, let's call it a day there, guys. Thank you all for staying tuned in. You know, we've had quite a few people in today, so it's nice to see. Guys, please make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let us know what you think in the comments as well. And peace out, man. That's all from me.
Yeah, guys, of course, just quickly say goodbye as well. Take care. Obviously, keep it locked. I'm going to be back with the Enemy Front this week. And we're also going to be back with another stream this Thursday evening around the same time, between 8 and 9 o'clock. So make sure you keep it locked on the United Front. Like Zayn said, keep it subscribed, share it, like the video, and obviously give us a comment as well. Take care.
Peace.